Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Yeah, pretty much right on cue, of course, the Democrats have to come in and ruin it, to literally, unironically poop on our parade. You know, President Trump is here trying to create a beautiful moment to celebrate America, to celebrate American troops, the flag, American heritage, and we got all these Democrats showing up like a bunch of frickin' Grinches, whining about fascism and government waste. Yeah, the party of big pork spending, lecturing us about government waste. The first military parade in decades is hitting the streets of Washington, D.C., and of course it's the perfect platform for your typical Democrat drama. Oh, the auditions are on. Who can scream dictator the loudest? Who can fearmonger the best? These Democrats are such absolute fake clowns, who obviously just lead with hate. I want to show you guys all this unhinged Democrat behavior, but before we get into any of it, this video is actually brought to you guys by a sponsor, so let's play that clip. This video is sponsored by Raycon. So of course, from watching my channel, you guys know that I'm on pretty much 24/7, and in order to keep up with the news cycle, I need to constantly be connected. And the one piece of tech that helps me do that every single day are my Raycon everyday earbuds. Folks, you know I've been going on about these earbuds for almost 4.5 years at this point, and that's because it's a product that I absolutely love. When I'm on the go, I always got these bad boys in my ears. It's simply a must-have gadget, and the Raycon everyday earbuds are some of the best on the market. We're talking top-tier sound quality, active noise cancellation that keeps you locked in, switching tracks or answering calls through touch controls. These bad boys also come with multi-point connectivity, and on top of all of that, they've got 32 hours of battery life when paired with their portable charging case. Oh, and how could I forget they look absolutely fantastic. Look at the colors on screen. I personally love the carbon black myself. All the looks, all the quality, all the utility, all of this at a fraction of the price of the big name brands. In other words, you're saving money without compromising on quality. And it gets even better, folks, because thanks to our partnership with Raycon, by simply clicking the link down below in the pinned comment and description, heading over to buyraycon.com/hivemind, Raycon is offering up to 15% off site-wide for all Liberal Hive Mind viewers. What are you waiting for? The Raycon everyday earbuds are the absolute best. A huge thank you to Raycon. Now back to the video. All right, folks, so like I said in the intro, the Democrat drama begins. The I See Fascism soap opera is now in frickin' town at your local theater.
And whenever I come out here, I take great joy in running my mall route and down around the monuments or whatever, and it was horrific down there today. I'm just going to tell you, it just looks wrong, feels wrong, and so I think I'm going to go be with a few thousand folks who kind of have the tradition that there is a separation there, that we don't need this, and this is not Pyongyang on a Saturday. So I'm just going to confess to it. Might get me in trouble, whatever. I have never so hoped for rain in my life.
So here comes Tampon Tim, Democrat loser and failed vice presidential candidate. The guy who, by the way, literally lied about his military record. Well, here he is now dragging American troops through the mud as he hopes for it to rain on them. Not to mention how he compares them to North Korean soldiers. I mean, what an absolute clown. This guy ran as a veteran in the last election, and now here he is with this disrespectful crap. But it's not just him, it's also the ladies at The View.
I can't be the only one. When I think of military parades, I think of Russia, I think of North Korea. I have these visuals of people saluting and doing things, and that's just not what I think of when I think of the U.S. And Senator Rand Paul said, we were always different than these images. And we were proud not to be that. And then you also think about the conversations about cutting waste. And here you've got, like, how much is this going to cost? $40 million.
On the low end, yeah.
On
the low end, up to
who
45
thinks,
million,
like,
yeah.
Okay, let's cut, like, all the aid and the school lunches and all the good stuff, but let's throw a parade that harkens World War II propaganda and just throw the money that way. I can't keep up.
That's the talking point of the day, comparing American armed forces to North Korean soldiers. I mean, seriously? That's where we're at? And just think about how dumb the argument is. Ooh, bad country does a bad thing, therefore you can never replicate it? That's like saying Adolf Hitler once drank water, therefore you can't possibly drink water ever, because then you're exactly like Hitler. No, that's absolutely stupid. There's obviously a distinction between celebrating the North Korean military, which is a hermit kingdom authoritarian hellscape, where people are literally starving and coerced into absolute loyalty and servitude to the state and its supreme leader, Kim Jong-un. There's a difference between those soldiers and that military and the US military. Come on. And you know what really puts it into perspective? It's when you see clips like this. These are good old American boys. These are young patriotic men who are giving up everything, who are sacrificing their beings to protect the American way of life that Tim Walz gets to appreciate. Yeah, definitely not the same as North Korean soldiers. Holy frickin' moly, these Democrats are unbelievable. I mean, you wonder why people say they hate America. Oh, I wonder why it is. And they look even more stupid and more full of contempt when you realize that actually, this military parade isn't to stroke Donald Trump's ego. No, it's to celebrate the US military's 250th year.
I'm standing right now where the President of the United States is going to be standing this Saturday for the Army's 250th birthday. We're going to have 250 soldiers re-enlisting right here. Secretary of Defense, Vice President of the United States, President of the United States, as the Golden Knights descend from the skies with the flag at sunset to hand the President of the United States a flag after soldiers re-enlist. This is an amazing opportunity. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to see and celebrate American soldiers and their service, support our soldiers.
I mean, that video I just played for you, that's the vibe. Celebrating 250 years, appreciation for American troops and love of country, and the Democrats are screaming fascism. They're such absolute clowns. Or then the other argument, it's waste, it's government waste, it's hypocrisy. And then of course building that argument on the typical left-wing fallback, but what about the kids? Donald Trump cuts school lunches to fund a $40 million parade. That's complete nonsense. The Trump administration has already flagged over $160 billion in wasteful government spending. $40 million pales in comparison. And not to mention, it's not wasteful. 40 plus million for a parade that employs workers, that attracts tourism, that celebrates the military. That's not wasteful spending. That's actually, unironically, an investment. It creates a moment of economic boon for the area. Small businesses around the parade are going to have a stellar couple days here. But it's this constant negativity that they're so addicted to. It's so obviously about hatred. Hatred for anything patriotic, but above all, absolute hatred for Donald Trump. No matter what he does, he's a freaking fascist. This right here is what it always comes down to with these Democrats. They just hate President Trump so much that they'd rather spit on the troops than admit that he's actually doing something kind of cool. They take a heartfelt, historic celebration of America's armed forces and twist it into some dystopian North Korean narrative, all because of Orange Man Bad. Yeah, one thing is clear, we got these leftoids always saying that they're fighting fascism. Oh, we're fighting fascism. No, all you're fighting is patriotism. They seem to be against pride in country. Every time America stands tall and proud, they can't help but try to tear it all down. I don't know about you guys, but I'm stoked this 250 Army anniversary parade just kind of seems based. Seems kind of sick. Why not? Especially with such a little price tag. There's nothing wrong with celebrating patriotism. I think this parade's gonna be freaking awesome. And these Democrats, they just look so bitter. Let them seethe with rage as those good old American boys continue to make us proud. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.